What's going on, everybody? What's today? Thursday? Hope you guys had a good makeup day yesterday. For those people who are already caught up, it was a day of no math. So hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. So far this unit, we've talked about perimeter. We said perimeter was where we measure the outside lengths. And we've talked about area. We said area was the amount of squares that cover a surface, a two-dimensional surface. We then went to volume, and we talked about, how much space would be inside a rectangular prism or a box, a cube. If we were wrapping a gift, how much space could we have inside that box for that gift? Now, we're going to kind of do a 180 here. We're going to head back to surface area, but we're not going to find surface area of just a square today. No. Today we're actually going to find surface area of an entire three-dimensional, well, in this case, rectangular prism, or in this case here, a cube. When I do this lesson with my students in class, and I'm not virtual, I usually have wrapping paper, and we actually spend a period learning how to wrap rectangular prisms. And the kids all bring in a box, and we wrap them, and we make them look like presents, and then we give them to a family member, and we tease them. We say it's their birthday and whatnot. But if we were to wrap this rectangular prism, this cube, how much gift wrap would we need? And so in front of you here, you'll see there's a formula, a surface area formula. But I really want you to understand why that formula is that formula. So let's take a look at this shape. If I have a cube here, we know it's a cube because all of the sides or faces are equal. You'll notice that I have a front side, and I'm going to shade the front side to this cube. Now this front side has a length of 8 and a width of 8. So 8 times 8 is 64. Now this front side has another identical face. If this is the front, it's equal to the back. And if you have your pencil out and you have your workbook open, which I'm hoping you do, go ahead and shade in those two. So the front and the back are equal. So you'll notice I have a 2 here. Or in this case here, I have a 2 because there's length times width, and I have 2 of those sides, so I'm going to multiply by 2. Now on this figure, I also have a top portion, and I'm going to shade it kind of sideways like this. Okay? Now that has we'll say a length of 8 and a height of 8. That top is identical to the bottom. And if you shade it kind of sideways, it kind of starts to look like a three-dimensional figure. Now, what you'll notice here is we have a length and a height. Well, we have 2 of them. We have the top and the bottom. Now, you'll notice we have a right side. This right side is identical to the left side. And as you can see, now it really kind of pops off the page. It looks like a three-dimensional figure. The width and the height, you'd multiply 8 times 8 to get this face, but we have 2 of them, and that's where that 2 comes in. So this formula was derived from that explanation, and this really makes our life very easy as long as we know what the length, the width, and the height are. So earlier in this unit, I said, hey, I want you to make a key and tell me what each of the sides stands for. Once you have this key, well, the rest is history. You just have to plug these values into the surface area formula. And what this surface area formula will do, it'll give you the total surface area of all 6 of these sides. So let's try it. They're all 8s, so let's do it. Let's plug in. So we have 2 times 8 times 8 plus 2, length times width, 8 times 8 plus 2, width times height, 8 times 8. And now it's a calculator problem. You could plug all of this in a calculator and get an answer, or you can do it step by step. I'm going to do it step by step, and I'm just going to do 8 times 8 is 64, and 64 times 2 is 128, plus, in this case, same thing. With a cube, it's a lot easier than 128. 128 plus 128 plus 128 is, I'm doing it in my head, 384 inches squares, because it's two-dimensional. It's just covering the figure. All right, so that's what a cube would look like. Now, what if we were doing something that wasn't a cube? So pause the video if you want to just kind of catch up on this, on the notes here. But on the next one here, this is definitely not a cube. This is a rectangular prism. So essentially, again, you would need a key. Let me know what each one of these is going to be. Now, I'll be honest. Why do I want this key? Well, it's pretty simple. If you don't have this key available, when you start plugging in these numbers, you might plug them into the wrong variables, and then your answer will be wrong. So length, I'm going to go 13 on this one. Width, I'm going to go 7. And height, I'm going to go 6. And again, it doesn't really matter because multiplication is commutative. All right, so I've got my key. Now let's go ahead and let's write my formula. Surface area equals 2 of the sides that are length times height, 2 of the sides that are length times width, and 2 of the sides that are width times height. And again, you can just copy it from up here if you want. All right, so let's plug in our values. We have 2 times 13 times 6 plus 2 times 13 times 7 plus 2 times 7 times 6. Now again, if you want to plug this all in a calculator, you can just go 2 times 13 times 6 plus 2 times 13 times 7 plus 2 times 7 times 6, and it will shoot out an answer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go step by step. So I'm going to go 13 times 6 is 78, and I'm just going to double that, and I get 156. 13 times 7, 91, times 2 is 182. And then 7 times 6 is 42, 84. And if I had a calculator, what I would do is I would just go ahead and add these all up, and I would get 422 feet square, the surface area. Okay, so essentially, today's lesson, all you have to do is look at the figure that I give you, determine which side is going to be the length, which is going to be the width, what's going to be the height, and plug it into the same formula, the surface area formula. All right, so I wish you luck. I'm going to give you a few to work on. Again, pause this video right now if you want to go ahead and make sure all of your notes to this page are complete. There are 4 problems for you to work on. Remember, with these 4 problems, I need to have, for each one of these, and I know some of my first period guys like to make the keys first. So they might even do this before they even start the problems. And they might make sure that they go ahead and label what each side is. Then go ahead and copy down that surface area formula, plug in your values, and send it off to Google Classroom. I hope you guys have a great Thursday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.